Okay, hi mga Pinoy Rider. So, for this video, we will be talking about the first video sa aking educational series wherein we will be talking about different topics such as current events, mga rider tips, mga tips about motorcycles, mga latest news. And for this episode, we will be talking about paano pumili ng una mong big bike. So, bago yan, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel and check this video out. Yan, so unang big bike, napakaraming nangangarap, 'di ba? Ako man dati, yan na yung dream ko talaga eh. Nung bata pa lang ako, nagmamotor na ako. So, mga Pinoy Rider, kung hindi nyo na itatanong, my first bike, Honda Tact. I think 50cc to na 2-stroke. Tapos, basta sobrang bagal niya. Yung speedo niya, hanggang parang 40 or 50 lang ata yung nakita ko doon. Pero syempre hindi niya maabot yun dahil usually maximum naman yun pang red line. Pero ganun siya. Dati pa lang nakikita ko na yung mga naka sport bike, yung mga naka super 4. So syempre nakakainggit. Pero nung panahon naka 50cc pa lang ako, student pa lang ako noon. So sabi ko someday hopefully magka big bike din ako. Pero dahil nga wala pa ako masyadong knowledge tsaka experience sa pagbumotor that time, what happened was, pag may nakita akong malaking motor, ang tawag ko na doon big bike, which is true naman. Pero now as an experienced rider, mas gusto na, may kumbaga mas defined na kung ano yung gusto natin na big bike. So yung iba nangangarap magkaroon ng sport bike, iba naked, iba touring, iba motard na big bike, cruiser, ganyan. So after nung experience ko with the 50cc, nag-level up ng konti. When I started working, nakabili ako ng installment siya ng Honda Wave 100. Ito yung after nung Wave Alpha, 4-stroke na siya, 100cc, napakabagal din. And dahil nga syempre wala pa masyadong experience, saka hindi pa ganun kalaki yung kaya kong ilabas monthly, nagtiyaga ako dun sa pinakamurang Wave. Although may Bravo noon, Honda Bravo na same engine na mas mura, pero ito yung pinaka low end na Honda Wave. Ito yung niwala man lang disc brake. So both drum brakes, which naisip ko in hindsight medyo delikado yon dahil ang nangyari is kinuha ko lang yung pinakamura. So marami akong na-meet na friends, ganyan, nakapag join ng rides, may mga nakasalimuhan na naka 200cc and up. Usong-uso nun yung Motorstar Explorer Z200 tsaka Z2. Yan, so actually nahulog yung tripod ko. Pero yun, at that time, usong-uso yung Motorstar Z200 tsaka Z250 na Explorer. So syempre ako, manghang-mangha na ako noon kasi syempre ang laki ng bike. Wow, lapad ng gulong. I think 150 yung stock niya, or is it 140? Tapos ang maganda doon, yung mags niya pwede mo kabitan ng 160, as in 160mm na lapad. So parang pang big bike na, kasi for me yun talaga yung that time, yun yung gauge mo para malaki, masabi na malaki yung motor mo pag 160 yung likod and 120 yung harap. But that's just me. So that was 2008 pa, I think. So sabi ko balang araw magkakaganito ako. Pero still, dahil hindi nga ako ganun ka familiar with big bikes, syempre ang alam ko lang ng Super 4 kasi yun yung sikat dati. And so what happened was, after nun, napakadami kong na-experience na mga motor. Dumaan ako sa YBR 125, Yamaha Novo, my first scooter I think. Tapos yun, iba-iba na. Nagkaroon pa ako ng Yamaguchi Hurricane 150, dahil feeling ko big bike yun, kahit na China bike na 150cc lang. Then merong mga Rouser. Nagkaroon din ako ng CB110, Honda CB110. So pag may bagong uso, bili ng bili. Eventually, nagkaroon ako ng opportunity na makatry ng Honda CBR 150. Sabi ko, this will be my, kumbaga, stepping stone para sa transition ko from small bikes to big bikes. So what happened was, I was really eyeing Kawasaki that time kasi yung Kawasaki, meron na silang showroom sa Libis. Isa sa major considerations ko, since ang topic ka natin, getting your first big bike, isa sa mga pwede natin gawing major considerations is yung local support. This is purely from my own experience, kasi pag may local support, meaning local unit to, hindi na kailangan i-import, dinidistribute sa locally ng Kawasaki. So pagka ganun, mas madali, tsaka mas available yung support for that bike and its owners. So I eyed Kawasaki that time, and syempre nagta-transition lang ako. One of the questions I asked myself, okay, medyo big bike feel ng konti lang naman yung CBR 150 na FI. Isingit ko lang, no, before that, before ako mag-consider bumili ng Kawasaki na big bike, etong CBR 150, dinala ko pa to sa NLEX. Nilagyan ko ng mask yung harap niya para magmukhang dual headlight, since isa lang yung headlight niya na pag ganon, para magmukhang big bike. Tinakas ko siya sa NLEX. So isa yun sa mga aking pasaway moments. Huwag niyong gagawin kasi delikado. Kulang yung capacity ng bike, tsaka it's breaking the rules. So mali siya in the first place. So yun pa lang, doon pa lang kasi gusto ko na magka big bike feel, kaya nakiki-expressway ako. So eventually, nagkaroon ako ng opportunity to get a Kawasaki ER6N. So I sold my bike that time for maybe, I think 112,000. Yung brand niya nun, ilan ba, 160 or 165. So medyo malaki yung lugi, pero sabi ko matutupad naman yung pangarap ko eh. So parang okay lang. So what happened was, nagkaroon ako ng opportunity to get a Kawasaki ER6N. Ito yung naked bike ng Kawasaki na 650cc na parallel twin. Then fuel injected na siya, dual disc brake yung harap. Wala pang ABS nun, so yun pa lang, tuwan-tuwa na ako nun. So what led me to get my first big bike? First, syempre yung financial considerations. From the cash that I got, 100 plus thousand lang yung nabenta ko sa CBR. Etong bike na to costs roughly that time 325,000. So maglalabas ka talaga ng malaking cash. Yon. So hi guys, I'll just wrap up the video kasi kanina nahulog dun sa kotse yung tripod. Mali pala yung pagka-mount niya. So as I said, then I got the Kawasaki ER6N. Pagkatapos nun, nagtuloy-tuloy na. Whenever I wanted to change a big bike, the choice that I have is really dependent on the budget. So choosing my first big bike wasn't actually hard because siyempre nagsisimula ka pa lang. Well, unless napakarami mong extra cash, but for most of us na mga simpleng Pinoy Rider lang, what you do is actually base it on whatever cash you have. That time, I wanted na magkaroon ng big bike na maayos, na bago, modelo. I did my best to come up with that much cash para lang hindi ako mauwi dun sa pagkakaroon ng bike na let's say Super 4, Because at that time, it's almost 2.5 decades. I mean, come on, kahit sabihin mo matibay yung engine, ganun. Um, what's gonna happen is, it's really an old bike, an old technology, not even fuel injected. Ang iba kasi yun yung first choice dahil ang ganda ng tunog, four-cylinder, inline, and there's nothing wrong with that. Pero ako personally, mas gusto ko yung modelo na bikes kasi alam mo mas tatagal siya, tsaka mas confident ako na, lalo na ako mahilig ako sa mga long rides, mas confident ako na kaya ko iikot nito ng buong, let's say, North Luzon ng walang kakaba-kaba at maraming parts. Yun. So my consideration back then would be number one is budget. Number two, if marami ka talagang budget, hindi tulad ko. So, kung marami kang budget, first, well, number two would be your riding style. Riding style because iba-iba tayong riders eh. Yung iba gusto yung relax, yung cruiser, or let's say, iba naman, medyo maporma, like yung mga sport bikes. Ako, I just wanted a touring bike or a standard bike na pwede ko gawing touring, lalagyan ng box, ganon. Meron din naman yung mahilig sa at kinalakan yung mga scooters. Yung iba nagmamaxi scoot. So, meron din tayo yung mga motard or even yung mga pang cross country, even a Goldwing, ganyan. So, it's really something that you have to ask yourself as a Pinoy rider. Anong klaseng rider ba ako? What purpose would I use this bike for? So, yung iba, um, would sell all their bikes to come up with enough cash to buy a big bike. Eh, yung lifestyle nila before, everyday rider sila, pamasok sa office. So, ano pang consideration mo? Siyempre, also yung fuel efficiency, napaka-traffic sa mga cities, hindi lang sa Manila. Even in Cebu, Davao, even Iloilo, nagta-traffic rin pag sa city, like kung papasok ka sa office. What you do is to actually consider the fuel efficiency. Ano ba yung mga matitipid? Siyempre, you do not initially go for a four-cylinder or even a three-cylinder bike. Uunahin mo siyempre yung mga matitipid, yung mga, let's say, mga thumpers like single cylinder, mga Duke 390. Sa ngayon, even Dominar, well, Dominar na 400 yung sa rehistro. Kasi napakatipid ulit. Parang Duke 390 yan, has almost 30 kilometers per liter and it could let you get into the expressways. So, for me, yung two major considerations, if everything falls into place, first yung amount ng cash na meron ka, and pangalawa, type of rider, and pangatlo would be yung fuel efficiency if you're an everyday rider. And then, another consideration then, but this isn't a concern for all kasi nga lahat naman yan malalaki yung tank eh. But kung gusto mo talaga yung mga cross country na bigger than usual yung gas tanks, meron tayong mga tulad ng Honda Goldwing. I saw one at the recent Makina event, yung sa Motobuilds. Grabe, ang laki nito. Tapos para ka talagang nasa spaceship. So imagine mo lang kung ilang hundreds of kilometers yung mabibigay nun per full tank. Kasi iba gusto tuloy-tuloy talaga yung hindi na mo natitigil hanggang maubos yung gas. Like you'd go on for hours and hours of riding. So those are the things that you consider. But para dun sa mga nagbabalak pa lang kumuha ng first big bike nyo, for me, cherish that moment because as they say, ito yung mga toys for the big boy. So whatever big bike you choose, no matter kung gaano ka entry level to, or kung gaano kamahal, or even if it's a second hand bike, it doesn't matter. Ang importante, you enjoy what you love. Pare-parehas tayo ng hilig eh, riding. It's our passion. Ang importante, masaya tayo dito. And kahit na nagsisimula pa lang dun sa big bikes, walang problema yan. Eventually, ma-realize natin na ito lang kasi talaga yung mahal natin gawin, ang pagmamotor. So I guess that's it, mga Pinoy Rider. Hopefully, I shared some insights. Next time, sana ma-view nyo pa yung ibang videos. So, yun ang masasabi ko. Live free and keep on riding. Bye-bye. Yung Motorstar Explorer Z200 tsaka Z2. So, maglalabas ka talaga ng malaking cash.